Hello and welcome to the Mindset Alchemy podcast. I'm Janine and I'm absolutely delighted to have you here. Well, what's Mindset Alchemy, Janine? Well, how I work with Mindset Alchemy is through the form of personal leadership, through helping you understand your abilities, understanding what your dreams and goals are, and to learn to know intuitively through listening to your inner whisper, your body, and life around you. This helps you then to choose consciously what you're thinking, the actions you're taking, and where you're going with it, so that you can begin to create intentionally that desire, that dream, that goal that you're looking to have in your life. What this allows you to do is to be effortlessly. Well, what does it mean to be effortlessly, Janine? Well, do you know how you cope in certain situations? Do you understand what your gifts and talents are? Have you got an understanding of what it is to make things more conscious and then build capacity with them? Or to say, and there's the door, out you go. Because when we acknowledge our shadow side, we're able to see our light side. Remember, we have shadows because there's light. And with these shadows, we're able to know what's a better way of moving forward. Last week, we were talking about the fact that life and people lay seeds in our life, in our lives, and the weeds tend to grow with the seeds. The challenge is initially you get to allow both of them, the weeds and the seeds, to grow so that you know which is the weed and which is the seed, which is the plant you're wishing to keep. And this is all part of understanding the shadow. What is that shadow showing you? Is there a victim? Is there a martyr? Is there a wounded warrior? Who's there? Is there potentially a wounded anything? The inner child, the wounded inner child? Or is there a frustrated, creative inner child? What is there that could be seen as a weed rather than the growing blossom from that seed that was planted? Now, as I mentioned in the previous podcast as well, weeds can be herbs. They can help us to feel better. They can support our bodies and our lives. The thing is, when they are throttling what we wish to grow, then it is better for it to go. And when we allow it to go, wow, what an incredible thing happens in life. Some of the weeds can be self-sabotage. Some of them can be defaulting to the victim and martyr. Others can be, wow, I'm unable to know what to do, or the words we use. Oh, people, those words that absolutely nail our feet to the floor and stop us from opening the better door. Those words that are like can't, won't. Can't means won't, by the way. Words like, oh dear, I'll never be able to do that. Oh my, what will people think? Who cares what people think? Most people don't think about us. They're thinking about themselves and where they would like to go. So who cares what they think? Well, we care. And the important thing to know is that if they are thinking judgmental thoughts, they're of themselves because that's what they're recognizing. Maybe one of the weeds is jealousy, envy. Jealousy is okay because jealousy tends to show us, oh my goodness, I'm looking at that person with jealousy because I know I should be doing that. I know I could be doing that. And what are the infinite possibilities of my doing that? And let's just address that little word should. When people say to me, oh, I should be doing it, to myself and to them is, well, then it isn't going to happen. I can see it's already out the door. The intention is to leave it rather than do it. Should is a very interesting little word. It's one of the more interesting words. So when we look at these weeds and we say to them, okay, let's pull you out, and let's work with you. We sometimes may forget that they've seeded and then they grow some more weeds and we get to weed those as well. What this does is it allows us to see our way forward. It allows us to breathe. It allows us to build that dream as we're seeing where victim can become focused energy of, wow, I can do things for myself. I can let go of people pleasing, which is another weed. Oh, I can absolutely choose to grow more, to shift my energy, to see my attitude where it's really, really taking me upstream rather than downstream. And people paddling upstream is a lot of work. Let's rather find where we can go downstream. Marta, guess what? Ask for help. Honestly, it really makes such a difference. So many times people say to you, well, I can't afford to pay it. Well, go and find a way that you can allow it to happen. Go and see where you can allow either cash flow or people to assist you. Or maybe there's a better way of doing it, that you can make plans with it. And it's when we can recognize this and literally pull out those weeds of indifference, those weeds of inaction, those weeds of distrust, those weeds of skepticism, those weeds of being critical, those weeds of comparing ourselves to other people, those weeds of complaining. All of these weeds get in the way and they hold us back from our dreams, our goals, and where we would like to go. One of the biggest weeds for me is people's fear around dreaming, around seeing what they could have and where they could be. Their fear of maybe being unable to achieve it, that stops them from even starting on the journey. That is such a big weed. The other weed is people can tell me what they dislike and what they would really despise having in their lives. And when I say, well, what would you like to replace it with? What would you like to have? They sit there gobsmacked because they've been so busy thinking about what they dislike, they forgot to think about what they would enjoy, what their experience could be, and where they could create more expansively in their lives. As I help them to journal on this, meditate on this, and help them to see, well, gee whiz, I am worthy of having it. Because people, that is the biggest fear, biggest weed, that fear of being unworthy, that decision that we can't have it, rather than making a decision to see where we can have it, when we can have it, and what it would look like to have it. Because very often we decide, oh, it wasn't that I was looking for anyway. It was something different. It was something better. All of this comes down to, where can you allow yourself to trust that life is always working out for you? Where can you allow that things can be better, that you are worthy of having things, and that anything is possible when we put our mind to it, that is aligned with our soul mission? That's what it says. Oh, everything's possible. Well, I have seen that when it's in alignment, it's possible. When it's out of alignment, oh boy, people struggle and push and really have an uphill battle. And when they get there, they discover, gee whiz, I went up the wrong road. I actually climbed the incorrect ladder. When things are hard like that, go and check and see if it's a growth point, a mindset, or maybe you are just plain out of alignment with what you can do, choosing to do, and that's aligned to do. Wow, that's a lot today. I would love to hear your thoughts. So come and find me in social media, connect with me, book a sounding board session, and let's discuss where you could be when you pull the weeds out and fertilize the seeds that will grow into your success, your dreams, your desires, and your expansive reality of having fun, joy, and ease in your life. Have a great day. Bye-bye.